In 2025, the Carolina Panthers ranked 6th when it came to explosive plays. Insert Chris Brazzell, who finished off his 2025 season averaging 16 yards a catch. In today's video, I want to go through the film. I have my strength and weakness graphic for Chris Brazzell to help show you how Chris Brazzell will bring a different element to the Carolina Panthers. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Looking at my strength and weakness chart, I have him as an athletic freak, being 6'5" and also running a 4.3. That's somewhat, it's not really unheard of nowadays because we all have these freak athletes coming from everywhere. But with his hip fluidity and his route running for his size, it's actually crazy how he can move like that. He reminds me of T-Mac that we have on the team, but he's doing it running a 4.3. T-Mac ran what, 4.5? Chris Brazzell, he does it at a 4.3, but he does have nice ball tracking skills down the field when going up and getting it. He has vertical separation. It's going to keep the DBs alert. They're going to back up. It's going to make things open up underneath as well. When he's asked to block, he's actually a good blocker as well too. He didn't really do it much at Tennessee because they usually tell the wide receivers to just rest if they're not getting the ball. But when he's asked to block, he's holding his own. No defensive backs was getting past him from what I've seen. Now, my weaknesses, we all know with Tennessee wide receivers, there's this known thing that they don't translate well to the league due to the wide splits that they run. But I don't think that Chris Brazzell will have as much trouble translating as the others because Tennessee ran more realistic things this year, and we're going to see that in the film. He does jump unnecessarily for passes. I would say this is more of a safety valve thing so that he knows he can catch the ball rather than having the hands catch everything. I feel like that can be, it can be a problem, but it can also be a good thing because he secures the catch and he also lands on his feet like Dave Canales said. So he's able to keep that yak ability. Talking about yak ability, he had limited opportunities at Tennessee due to being so wide and the ball come a little later. So when he got the screen, he wasn't really able to make anything move. But when he gets going, he's able to make people miss. And watching interviews, he talked about that he has underrated yak ability. So I hope we'll be able to see that this year with the Panthers. But without further ado, let's quit all the talking. Let's just go straight into the film. The reason that I think Chris Brazzell won't struggle as much as the other Tennessee wide receivers is because here in 2025, Tennessee did more realistic things that you would see in the NFL. They played with more realistic splits. Even though they still did run those very wide splits at a high number of times, there were still times where they did more realistic things. Here, what we're going to be getting from a concept standpoint wise from Tennessee, they're going to be running a Yankee concept. So this wide receiver at the top of the screen, he's going to be running the deep post, and Chris Brazzell on the other side, he's going to be running the deep over. What this concept is trying to do is trying to pull these linebackers down. The way Tennessee is going to do it, they're going to run a over the ball with the wide receiver here, and then they're going to be running an out route. What the job is they're going to pull this linebacker down, this safety down, and you want this slot corner, you want them down so Chris Brazzell can he can run over this and he'll have space in the middle of the field. The deep post is going to occupy this deep safety who's playing his post. He's going to be playing his post coverage, and it's going to open up things for Chris Brazzell. Alabama, they're just in man-to-man coverage, so he's matched up. The slot corner, he's locked in one-on-one with the slot wide receiver. The safety, he's matched up with the tight end. And this corner, he's matched up with Chris Brazzell. And as I said before, the safety, he's playing post. He's going to be playing his post. And if we let this run, we're going to see that Chris Brazzell, he has no problem going over the middle of the field. We see he's running, takes his time, looks for the ball coming. He makes an acrobatic catch. Now I do see problems with him jumping up in the air for no reason. I feel like that's more of a safety valve so he makes sure he catches the ball. But what Dave Canales said in his presser is that Chris Brazzell does a good job landing on his feet. So it won't be as bad as him catching and then falling down, limiting his yak opportunity. Here on this play, I just want you to see how fast Chris Brazzell eats up space and how deep he gets the DB before breaking down, and how he does a great job sinking his hips and breaking down, getting open on this play, which is why I think that he will translate very well into the league, even though he is playing in this Tennessee offense. What he's just going to be running, he's going to be running this very deep comeback route. If I'm not mistaken, I think Tennessee, they allow their receivers to do choice routes. So it depending on the leverage of the DB, they can either work vertical on a go ball. They can run the post, if I'm not mistaken, or they can break it either outside on a comeback, or they can run it deep into a deep curl. Here, what Chris Brazzell is going to be doing, he's going to be running this deep comeback route. I don't have to drop the coverage. It's just man coverage again. So this corner, he's going to be matched up one-on-one with Chris Brazzell. And if you see this play, watch how fast he is eating up space. Look, he's a long strider. He's 6'5". They're not supposed to be moving this fast, and it doesn't even take him that long to get up to speed. He's working up on his DB. Look, as soon as the DB opens up to go vertical, look how quick he sinks his hip and is able to break down. When running comeback or curl routes, you want to be able to break down those steps. You want to get down in 3 steps, if I'm not mistaken, and he's going to be able to make the catch. Now, in the NFL, you got to get 2 feet down, but we're in college, so he does get 1 foot down, but he completes the play. And that vertical separation, it'll just show up consistently in the league.
Here on this play, you're just going to be able to see that hip fluidity that I was talking about during the strength and weakness part of the video. He's going to be matched up one-on-one with this Georgia cornerback here, who I'm pretty sure is a pretty good corner coming out. I think he might be coming out next year, if I'm not mistaken. What Chris Brazzell is going to be running, he's going to be running this deep out, but he's going to take an outside release. He's going to act like he's going outside, then he's going to work inside up, and he's going to work it deep, and then he's going to break it out around like 12 to 15 yards here. We're going to let it run, and you're just going to see how he's able to just pump the brakes really fast. You see the inside release he gives. He takes the inside release, and then watch how fast he just slows down real quick, and look how much separation that he creates from the DB. This is about 3 yards worth of separation that he is creating with ease. And then you're just going to be able to see that he's also going to high point this football. The ball tracking skills are going to show up here. He's going to high point this. Going to be able to get 2 feet down. Dave Canales talked about how he was able to jump up and high point the ball and then stay on the feet. And this is something that you see constantly on his tape.
Here on this play, you're just going to be able to see that explosive element. You're really going to be able to see how it'll work into effect with Bryce Young and with the Panthers. He's going to be here matched up one-on-one against another Georgia corner, Ellis Robinson, who's also a very good corner prospect coming out of next year's class. What they're going to be running from Tennessee is going to be another deep choice concept. So he has the ability to run the post, which is what we're going to be getting. We're going to be getting the post route. He's able to sit this down on an inside curl. He's able to break it out on a comeback, or he's able to take it vertical on a go ball. We're going to be getting the post on this one, and watch how he takes the inside release again. He's going to act like he's going outside. He's going to throw off the DB. He's going to get him out of phase. We see that he's already created this separation. If this is a better ball here, it is a touchdown, but he's probably going to be able to walk in if this is a better ball. He's going to gear up, and you're going to see that speed coming in full effect. This is an underthrown ball, but you're going to see the ball tracking skills as well. You see that the DB catches up to the underthrown ball, and this is probably pass interference. We can see that the defensive back gets there early before the ball is there, but Chris Brazzell, he's able to fight through this, and he's still able to high point this football and find it, and he's able to stay on his feet again, like Dave Canales said, and they're going to end up scoring on this play. This element will probably show up more in effect with Bryce Young at a higher rate, because last year Bryce Young was very good throwing the deep ball, but it was with low attempts. So this year with Chris Brazzell, it'll open more of that game up, and we're going to see more explosive plays. Here on this play, we're going to be getting one of the more realistic type of splits and realistic type of sets and play call from Tennessee. What Georgia's going to be in defensively wise is they're going to be running a quarters call, and they're going to be trying to triangle this 3-by-1 look by Tennessee. We have the tight end, the slot wide receiver, the point man, and we have Chris Brazzell. They're going to be running a quarters calls out of this. So we know how quarters look. We know that this slot corner has his curl to flat. We know that this corner has his quarter, this safety has his quarter, this backside safety has his quarter, and the corner has his quarter. But as we do know, when there's a one solo side receiver, this safety, he's going to be playing poach. So he's going to try to poach any crosser across the middle of the field. And what we're going to be getting from a call point stand-wise from Tennessee is they're going to be running double post. So this point man, he's going to run his post and he's going to go to the back pylon. Chris Brazzell, he's going to work outside, like basically on a bang gate. I guess you can kind of say a small bang gate. He's going to work towards the back of the end zone, really. And this wide receiver on the solo side, he's just going to be running this deep over route. And on this play, we're going to see that Chris Brazzell, he's going to be able to work up on his DB's toes, and he's going to be able to create separation at the top of the route and find the end zone. We see that the safety, he's going to be poaching this post route. And the backside safety on Chris Brazzell, he's not really looking at Chris Brazzell, so he doesn't know that the post is going on behind him. But I want to go back real fast so that we can see Chris Brazzell, how he works up on his DB, gives him a hard inside step, pushes off that right foot, and the DB is going to get out of phase. And Chris Brazzell and Joey Aguilar, they're on the same page here. Joey Aguilar, he's just going to layer this ball over KJ Bolden's head, and Chris Brazzell, he's going to high point this football once again, and he's going to land with 2 feet in bounds. And these are just the type of plays that you want to see from Chris Brazzell.
Here on this play, it's just going to be see ball, go get ball from Chris Brazzell. What Georgia's going to be in coverage-wise is they're going to be in this 3 deep, 3 underneath. We know, just cover 3. This corner, he's going to drop back to his deep third. This safety, he's going to work his post coverage over the middle of the field. This corner, he's going to be in his deep third. We're going to be getting 4 underneath, but they're going to send a blitz from this middle linebacker. They're going to drop this linebacker out into coverage. They're going to drop this linebacker onto his curl flat. They're going to bring these 2 safeties down, if I'm not mistaken. And what Tennessee is going to be doing, I'm not even going to draw anything up. All you need to know is they basically just said, Chris Brazzell, go run deep. Joey Aguilar, throw it deep. Chris Brazzell going to catch it. You feel what I'm saying? So we let the play run. We're going to see Joey Aguilar. We're going to see that vertical speed that Chris Brazzell possesses. He's going to run deep, and he's just going to bat this DB. He just basically, the DB is actually in more position than Chris Brazzell. I'm going to try to zoom in here if I can. You're just going to be able to see Chris Brazzell. He's just going to head top him at the top of the screen. I'm going to show the end zone angle. On the end zone angle, we see Joey Aguilar hike the ball. We're going to see the throw, and we see that the defensive back, he's in good position, but Chris Brazzell, he's just going to go over top of him, bag him, step over him, and Chris Brazzell is going to score. This is just something that his 6'5" frame, his vertical separation, winning deep. You see how he stayed on his feet, like David Canales said. All this is going to translate, and it's going to bring more of that explosiveness to the Panthers offense.
I'm going to give the draft grade a A- due to the fact that we got him with value in the 3rd round at pick 83 when he was supposed to go higher. Some scouts even had him ranked as a 1st round graded wide receiver. Let me know down below what you guys have Chris Brazzell rated as. And please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.